What is it like dating in Korea?
It feels like one date and then you're like halfway between the first date and marriage. Like it's they don't.
I approached to her and I kissed on the cheek, but she was like shocked. What are you doing?
The second date or first date, they ask you to.
She ended up. I nearly got a restraining order against her.
What was the biggest red flag?
So many men trying to find the side woman.
What's up everybody, it's Gigi. Welcome to my channel. I'm in Seoul, Korea. Today I'm going to ask strangers on the street about dating culture in Korea and what was the biggest red flags that they experienced while dating in Korea. So let's get it. Have you ever dated Korean?
Yeah, I have. Kind of dating, kind of not.
How was it?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
What happened?
She ended up stalking me for around like a good 3 months, and I nearly got a restraining order against her. So like I blocked her on social media, and then she like made accounts to like message me. She reached out towards my parents, which I didn't give her permission or their numbers, and spread lies about me to my parents. And then she was threatening to reach out to the school, so I had to go to the school beforehand and tell them the whole situation. And that's when I was recommended to talk to the police. So.
Whoa, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a very terrible experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Dating in Korea, so much different from K-dramas.
Yeah, tell us.
I will tell from the perspective of women. So there are like beauty standards in Korea. If you have certain facial features, they will find reason why they would like to try to date with you. Many foreigners come just as a tourists. Korean men try to go out just for a one night stand.
Yes, I did. Nothing very special, nothing very different from France actually. It was a nice experience. It went pretty well. I think Korean girls and French girls obviously are kind of different in the way they are in their behavior. Like when you go out to have dinner or to get a coffee, of course it's a bit different. I know that the dating culture in Korea is like the guy have to pay for everything, things like that. But for me it was kind of special because it didn't happen. I was with a pretty cool girl, Korean girl. She already knew the issues in Korea. She told me that's why she's mostly dating foreigner guys, because she was upset about Korean guys. I didn't have a toxic relationship. Yeah.
Last year that I came here as a tourist, I dated one time. It was interesting
Okay, you said it was interesting. What do you mean by that?
because it was my first time dating with a Korean girl, and the culture was kind of different from the Latin people. So she was extrovert, but a little bit shy sometimes.
Yes, I'm currently dating a Korean. As he told, like it's really, really different than European countries or Spanish countries because
Okay.
Spanish people and Latin people, we are like physical touch people. We like to just hugging, kissing. We can understand that the Korean culture is way different, but sometimes I wish people in Korea understand us too. We can adapt to them, but we feel sometimes that they never adapt to us. So sometimes it's really struggling. So many of the foreigners, we try to date Korean people who maybe travel or live abroad because the mindset is way different. It's hard.
Was that the only experience that you had in Korea dating?
No, I have downloaded the dating apps because it's just a good way to get me out of my comfort zone. And I've been on some also pretty terrible dates as well.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but my very first date here, it was like within the first week that I arrived in Korea, I took this girl out to this like really nice coffee shop in Hongdae. We're like having a really good time, we're chatting, it's like getting along quite well. And she goes, oh, do you have like extra time? Do you wanna hang out somewhere? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I have some time, why not? And then she like walked me around for a good like 20 minutes until we reached a place that like looked like a really like bougie fashion store. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna like upgrade my outfits, because at the time I wore like really terrible outfits. And we walk into like this kind of hallway and we walk down like 2 flights of stairs, and next thing I know I'm in a dungeon, like the whole 50 Shades of Grey. There's like cages, like whips, like saddles, like the whole 9 yards. And then I'm like, oh, I have midterms, and then sprinted out.
Gotta go.
Yeah, and this is like before the semester started, and I'm like, I just any excuse to get out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first dating experience.
What was the biggest difference dating Korean versus someone from your country?
This is the biggest difference between our dating culture, marriage, and the way the Korean men approach the women that they like. In my culture, there's a huge difference because our people are getting married quite early comparing to Korea. So I think our guys try to meet more serious relationships a little bit earlier than in Korea. Women in my culture starting thinking more about serious relationships maybe about 23, 25 years old. Here people usually get married after 30, maybe even 35. Because of this, they are more concentrated on job. From what I've experienced in 6 months here, even though as a woman I just can feel that, okay, I'm tall, I'm a white woman, I get lots of attention from the men here. Korean men, they almost never come to you to know you or ask something, but they are so much more active on social media or Tinder or whatever. They are online people. Here everything is digital.
In Korea, it feels like one date and then you're like halfway between the first date and marriage. Like it's they don't really like they have the whole like 100-day gifts, 200-day gifts,
Okay.
like 1 year stuff like that. But it's like after the first date, like you have to declare that you're dating.
Oh, like you have to make it official.
Yeah, but in the States, it's like you go on a date, you kind of feel each other out. You go on
You're right.
basically multiple dates
You're
for like
right.
around a month, and then it's like, oh, okay, now like let me make it official and ask the person out.
Starting for the greeting in South America, when you meet someone, we kiss on the cheek. This time I forgot that I was in an Asian country and I approached to her and I kissed on the cheek, but she was like shocked. What are you doing? I forgot. Sorry. My name is Jorge. Yeah, but it's part of the Latin culture. Latin culture, we are a physical culture. That's why my first impression that we are kind of different.
Communication, yeah, the way you communicate. Maybe sometimes we can have like a small arguments because maybe in my country something you say it's considered rude, and like it's the opposite. Like maybe I say something that in my country is totally fine, but in your country not that good, and sometimes we have an arguments about that. So I think it's communication. It's not about cultural things. I think no matter where you're from, if you talk to each other and you understand each other.
What was the biggest red flags while dating in Korea?
So the red flags is that Korean men are very interested in dating foreign women. So many men who have girlfriends or are married and trying to find the side woman. I saw this a lot. They prefer, especially white women, Americans, Europeans, Slavic women.
Well, in my case, when we ordered the food, she didn't even ask me if we were gonna split the bill. She just was like waiting that I paid. In my country, maybe okay, I can pay you, but even though you can at least like say, okay, you're gonna pay, not because I didn't invite her, she invited to me, so that was a little bit different from my culture, but yeah.
Usually foreigners, when we date Korean girls, we don't know why, but maybe in the second date or first date, they ask you to be their boyfriend. Yeah, and I'm like, I just met you. How can I be your boyfriend? It's super weird. And for me, a red flag, I know it's kind of culture here, but if she drinks too much, you can drink. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to drink until you pass out, I don't really like that.
You kind of recognize that Korean girls like tend to drink a lot.
Yeah,
Got it.
especially the ones who just hang out in Hongdae.
Yeah.
Or when I always ask like, when was your last relationship? And maybe they have like 2 or 3 relationships in 1 year. And it's like, what? How you can have 3 relationships in 1 year?
It's a pali culture.
It's kind of weird. As maybe in Spain or Latin America, maybe you have two
Max.
a year or one, but here is like 3, 4 because they want to do like fast, maybe 3 months. It doesn't work. Okay, with another person like that. So I can understand. Maybe that's why in the second day, third day, they say, "Can you be my boyfriend?" I'm like, no.
Do you think like dating apps main way like people in Korea meet like other people?
No, I think the main way is actually clubbing. If you ever go to Hongdae, I'm not recommending it, but if you ever go to Hongdae, it seems like that's where Koreans meet other Koreans or Koreans meet foreigners to try to start dating or maybe to just have like one night stands and stuff like that.
What's the culture like in Hongdae?
I love Hongdae. I love Hongdae.
I mean,
love Hongdae.
we like Hongdae, but it's well known like a hunting place. Maybe for the woman's side, they say, oh, Korean men are doing this or men are doing that in Hongdae. But women are the same, especially if you're a foreigner. There's always 3 questions they always say to you. Where you live? Do you live alone? Where you from? That's always, do not even ask your name or nothing. So it's like kind of, okay. So I mean, if you go to Hongdae to party, you already know what are you going to do.
Got it.
Hongdae is hunter.
Yeah.
Hongdae.
If you go to Hongdae, you're a hunter.
Yeah, maybe you should rename it, not Hongdae, Hunter. Like that.
Hunter. What advices or tips would you give to someone moving to Korea?
Girls, if you have a desire to find a serious relationship, try your best to see what kind of relationships the man what they would like to experience with you.
In terms of dating, Korean dating is very difficult. It's very like rushed, and so if you're not used to that, make sure you are expressing that beforehand. Be like, hey, let's move at this kind of slow, and then take things like in your own pace while you're over here. Just be yourself. I think it's the best.
I wasn't living here for a long time, but there are different types of people. All of them, they are really interesting people. So if you just want to have a great time, to have a company or even just friends, I would recommend you to have friends here because people here are so creative. They take care of their appearance, of their development. They are interested in their job, their work. Also, I love this contrast. You will always see this contrast between the morning people in Korea and evening people. So if you want to try to find more serious relationships, try to meet someone in the first part of the day. But if you want to hang out with someone for one night stand, I would recommend you to go to the areas like where we are now, like in Hongdae, Itaewon, and towards evening, because people are finishing their work and they are more thinking about how to relax, hang out, to party.
Would you marry a Korean girl?
Yeah, maybe. Why not? Yeah, sure. It's not about being Korean. I just see the human before.
You're right.
So if I'm having a good time with the person I'm dating, yeah, sure. Why not? Then.
It's a good question. Well, we have some friends that they living here and in the entertainment industry. Some of them are married with Korean girls. They look happy, so why not? It's about opportunity. It's not about the culture. It's about the person. So yeah, why not?
A follow-up question. So if you decide to marry a Korean girl, what would be your parents' reaction?
My parents' reaction? Oh, of course, they will love. So yeah, my parents have not any discrimination or stereotype. As long as I'm happy, so for sure they will be happy.
For me, if I marry a Korean girl, my parents will be totally fine because Spanish people, we are open to everybody.
Okay.
So we welcome everyone if you're happy.
Right.
If that person make your life impossible, we are not happy. So yeah, we support that.
They wouldn't care. No. In my family, they don't care. They will just say congrats, that's great. Yeah, so I'm very glad to have a family like this, but they wouldn't care.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. Do you guys have any social that you want to plug?
Well, all my socials are privated because of the whole stalking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe my Instagram is Jorge or JORGEEE, 3 times E, and then 92.
Mine is _Kwama, KWAAMA.
Yeah, sure. DLA_NA_.
Give her a follow, you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was such a great experience for me as well.
I want to be an idol.
Idol.
No, not idol.
Show us your dance moves.
Oh my god.
He's dancer. Next to you.
He can dance.
No, I'm not a good dancer.
Let's see. Jorge, he's single. He want a Korean girl. Marry him.